Hi, this is Kunal Ganglani. Welcome to SAP Tutorials. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to navigate to an SAP system, log in into a system, and try to navigate to different transaction codes. So let's start. We have a system, remote system here, which we are using to connect to SAP systems. So to start an SAP system, we need to use SAP logon. So we have SAP logon for Windows in the start menu. So you'll have systems defined in this SAP logon. You use one of those systems which is assigned to you. You log in into that system. So I'm using my login credentials. You would have yours. Oops. So mine is BC430. So once you're logged into the system, you see a menu like you see a welcome screen like this. So to navigate to any screen, there are two options. One is you can use this hierarchy and move to any screens. So we have Office as an option, and then we have cross application components, wherein you can see all these options, and when you navigate further, you would see these are basically the screens which you see with this icon, and these are the directories. So you just have to scroll with the directories and use the screens. So other thing that you could do is directly mention the transaction code here. Now transaction codes are specific codes, shortcuts to refer to a particular screen. So for now I'm closing these hierarchies. So let's say we have tools as a directory, and then ABAP is what we'll be going forward in the course with. So ABAP workbench, and let's have an overview on this. So we have these screens available for ABAP workbench. Now there are two ways with which I can navigate to Object Navigator. One is by double clicking on this. So by double clicking on this, you would move to ABAP development workbench, wherein you could scroll among the packages and the programs made by you or any other user. The other thing which you could do is go back here with this back button and use the transaction code. So you open this transaction code area, and here you put in your transaction code. So you have to memorize what is the transaction code for this one. So I'll tell you for this Object Navigator, it's SC80. So when you hit SC80, you move to the ABAP development workbench screen. So SE80 is a transaction code for it. Similarly, there are other transaction codes as well. So SE16, SE16 would move you to the table browser, wherein you could edit table rows and view what the current table is about. So there are many transaction code which you would learn about, and you should memorize those for ease of access. Moving forward, let's say you move towards Object Navigator. And from here you want to move to the table navigation, which I just told you, SE16. So when you try it from here, SE16, you won't be able to go there. So why is that so? You can only use transaction code directly in the home screen. Now since this is not the home screen, you have to go back to the home screen. Now to do that, you can use this back option, or you can use /n for the home screen. So with /n, you go back to the home screen. The other thing which you could do is use SE80, go to whatever screen you want with any of the transaction code you want, and let's say you want to move to any other transaction code, you use /n is for the home screen, and then you use the transaction code, which is SE16. So using the transaction code, but before it you append /n, which makes you move to the home screen, and then you move to the screen desired. So this way you'd be able to move from any screen to any screen. The other thing which you could do is, let's say you are in SE80, which is the Object Navigator, And from here you want to move to the table screen. So the other thing which you could do is slash o opens a new window. Now we are all working in the same window as of now, but let's say you want to open a new window, and in that you want to open those tables. So you start with slash o, which would open a new window, and then you write SE16, which is the transaction code for it, and hit enter. So that way you'd be able to move to the data browser and do it. I hope you understand it. If you have any doubts, please feel free to mention it in the comments. Thank you.